there's a place that I've dreamed of, where I can free my mind. I hear the sounds of the season and lose all sense of time. Feels like we're in a dream, you know what I mean.
Right there, Camp McIntosh.
Yes, sir, Bob. September 23rd to the 27th, we're going to be up at Camp McIntosh for the 5th annual CFN retreat. I'd love to see you folks there. As I said, room is still available, but it is starting to fill up. So by all means, if you are interested in joining us, September 23rd to the 27th, we'd love to have you. There's all the information that you need to get a hold of Andre and Tracy, the website, of course, the phone number, email, whatever it is, whatever method you prefer. It's all there in big bold letters. So by all means, don't delay. It's going to be a great week and weekend of fun. Well, welcome. It is May long weekend. I hope everybody's had a fantastic weekend. And I'll tell you, if you have been outside, especially out this way in this parts of Canada, holy smokes, is it hot. Right now, we've got a thunderstorm that's about to barrel down on us. We've had 30-plus degree weather today. And I say that only because I know what the folks out west have been dealing with. Unfortunately, Walter has shared some photos of his backyard, and it snowed. And I think it actually snowed twice. I don't think it was just once. So a happy long weekend to all. Hopefully for those who did have nice weather, you've gotten out and enjoyed it. For those who have not, be patient. It's just around the corner. It's coming. Summer's definitely going to be here, I promise. How you doing, Jeremy? Thanks so much for joining us. It's going to be a quick show. Unfortunately, Jason and Lawrence had Jay's trying to get ready for tomorrow's work, and he has to leave very early, so he's got to pack and this, that, and everything else. So we'll be without Jay. And Lawrence just called me. Apparently, his internet, he's been having internet issues. So it's just Jim and me today. And the reason I wanted to do this so much and so badly was, of course, we wanted to pay our respect and celebrate in a great showing down in the Sante Cooper Lake system with Chris and Cory Johnston. It is quite an achievement, and I know Jim's really wanting to talk about it as well as myself. So I will get through some of these announcements really quick so that we can get straight to that. As I said, Jeremy, thanks so much for joining us. Steve's always here. Thank you so much as well, Jeremy, for taking some time spending your Mondays with us. Lloyd, as I said, you still have your ice fishing icon. I think that's kind of apropos, if you don't mind me saying. Coxman, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us tonight. Richard's in the house. As I said, Richard, I will have an announcement in regards to the hoodies because I know you'd asked me to do that, so I will definitely do that. Jim's in the house. How you doing, Jim? And yes, I noticed that he sent me a friend request. So we do have an announcement in regards to Jay and his guide service. So we will be doing that hopefully at the end of the show. I just haven't had time. Unfortunately, I'm on call. So if the pager goes off, unfortunately, I'm going to have to run. But needless to say, we're going to try and get through this because we do have some announcements. And yeah, I'm like you, Jeremy. I've worked all weekend as well in more ways than one. How you doing, Mark? Had a great fishing opener. Like I've seen. That's a spirit, pal. Spread the love. Spread the love. Going to be hot. Yeah, it is going to be hot. Extremely hot. Eve, how you doing, buddy? And yes, unfortunately, Lloyd, we heard. Oh man, winter just does not want to let go. Just doesn't. But the heat you sent our way, so we really appreciate that. But I can't thank you enough. Daniel Hussey's in the house. First and foremost, I want to thank our good buddy Steve Shaw. There's a new phrase in town. We use it in CFN land. It's not awesome. It's shawsome. So anytime you see a photo edit, I'd love to see you guys hashtag shawsomeness or shawsome, or at least have that in your comment. It's a new phrase that I don't even know if Steve's on here tonight. He's not too, he doesn't like the attention on him, but I think the focus needs to be put back on those that are putting forth a heck of an effort And it's a new catchphrase here in CFN land. And it is in honor of our good buddy Steve Shaw, who continues to showcase our community in ways that I could only dream of, and I just don't have time. So I'm so glad that I have him and Walter at the helm doing some wonderful stuff. And all I can say, my friends, is there's still lots in the works, and we're going to share it with you as time goes on. But there's a lot of wheels in motion right now in CFN land, and I'm really excited about it all. So stay tuned. It's only going to get better. How you doing, Tony? Nice to have you along, my friend. He did a awesome metaphor. There you go. This is what I'm talking about, Mark. Abso-freaking-lutely. Oh, your mother's watching. What have you done, Tony? What have you done? Okay, so a bunch of things that are going on that I really want to get to quickly so that we can get straight to Jim. First and foremost, tonight's show is sponsored by the good folks over at Go Large Fish Ruler. They have some great products. In fact, let me go to their product line just so you can see. We'll get back to this. I want to just show off their products because they got some incredible stuff. This is some, I would say, very unique measuring apparatuses, something that would be almost like a keepsake. They have all species of fish pretty much covered in their repertoire, and very reasonable pricing. You know, it is all aluminum, and it's thick aluminum, durable aluminum. Basically, as it's described here, it's a one-of-a-kind design. It can be personalized. So there's a lot of great options, and of course, you can click on all of them. But one of the big things that I want to talk about, because it's really important to what's coming up. But they, as I said, if you want to go over to their website, you see it there. I hope you see it there. It is golargefishruler.com. And but that's the home right there. So if you see that, golargefishruler.com, head on over there, find out a little bit more about these folks. The Alouette brothers are fantastic gems. They are what I call good freaking people, and we are honored to have them a part of our community. But more so than that, the biggest reason that we want to mention this is because we are in the midst and on the brink of starting the Compre Conquer All Challenge. And the importance of the Go Large Fish Ruler is this. They are a sanctioned and one and only CFN bump board. So if you get one of these, if you purchase one of these, and I know a bunch of you have already purchased it since I mentioned it, you don't have to legitimize it. There's no calibration, no certification. You simply show us a picture of this bump board, and you're good to go. So it just makes it so much easier for all of the events, all the online derbies and CFN fish offs that we do. So as I said, for a $40 investment at a 24-inch, $60 for 36-inch, as I said, they've made this extremely reasonable for not only for you to participate, but to own one of these. So I want to thank the Alouette brothers for helping us out in a huge way. And as mentioned, we have the Compre Conquer All Challenge, which will be starting very, very soon. In fact, let me head over to share a screen, and I will get all the details for you. Here we go. Share. All right. Take this off. I need a production. I need a producer. Here we go. There we go. All right. These are all the details that you need to know. It is small fish, big prizes. That's the theme of the tournament. It's the Compre Conquer All Challenge. Starts May 30th and runs till July 1st. It is free to sign up. There is no cost to this. All you need to do is to either go to cfnfishoff.com, or it's uploaded now to Angler's Atlas. So you simply click on the link that you will see on the page. This will be pinned. If it isn't already, you simply click on the link, takes you right to Angler's Atlas and the MyCatch app, and you go up into the right-hand corner and you click register. It's that simple. It's just that simple. You might want to make an account so that if you want to choose to do the future events that we have, by all means, sign up first so that you can just log straight into the app. But it's just a matter of clicking on that register, and away we go. So as I said, we are going to be starting May 30th. We're approaching, I think we're approaching 50 anglers right now that have signed up. And for whatever reason, as I said, people are busy, lots going on. Maybe there's lots of options, but this is great for getting your kids out, maybe a nephew, maybe a neighbor, some young person that to get them involved in something that is competitive, fun, and you can win some prizes. And there are some incredible prizes to win. Let us get to that right now. And of course, if at the end of it you have a whole whack of ballots, we're going to be giving 5 of these Compre lights away. They're actually the walleye version of the rod. They're not the light for the smaller fish, for the panfish. It's actually it's an upgrade. It's the walleye rod. And if anybody knows Compre, they know the walleye series, and it is a step up from their panfish series. It's an incredible rod, absolutely incredible rod. So we're really happy to give these away. The more ballots, the more chances you have to win. You are able to submit 1 species per day, up to a grand total of 12 species, so 12 possible ballots, but you can only submit 1 species per day. And that, as I said, 1 species equals 1 ballot. So we'll be giving 5 of these away. Then, of course, there is the video draw. If you caught a species with my Shimano, and it could be anything, a rod, reel, hat, shirt, we will be giving you a ballot for that as a video draw. And we're going to be giving away a Compre walleye rod with a Miraval reel. And we also have our hero shots. For those who have participated in the CFN Fish Off before, you are familiar with how the hero shots work. If you show your Shimano Compre, so if you catch something with a Compre and you show it in the video, you have a chance to win not only another Compre, but a Vanford reel. So lots of chances to win. As you said, we have been posting basically every Monday, every Monster Monday, to show what species are included, both crappie species. There are 4 sunfish species that are involved in this. Of course, perch. There's a couple other freshwater fish that we will get to next Monday, and then there'll be the saltwater edition. And there's 4 saltwater fish that you'll be able to choose from. So again, lots of options, lots of fun, and it is happening soon, May 30th. So make sure you go over to Anglers Atlas, download the app. You're going to need the app, but this is going to be a lot of fun. And as I said, our judges, Mike Consul, and just about everybody that is involved is excited to get this underway. And yes, as Steve mentioned, it is free to participate. It doesn't cost anything. That's the beautiful thing about CFN. We try to not eliminate anyone from participating. All right. With that being said, I don't think I have any more announcements. Let me just take a quick scan up from the top. I do not. Oh, yes, I do. Sorry. My apologies, Walter. Or Richard. Holy crap. As it is right now, we have 2 that are ready to be ordered, and the orders are almost ready to submit. We have 2 more that can fill. If we get 2 more orders, we'll be able to fill the order completely and have it done. Right now, I believe it is Brad Frost that Richard had mentioned that right now has 2 ordered. We need 2 more to fulfill the order. It's just how this person does it. And as I said, if you are interested in receiving, these are pretty cool, pretty light hoodies. We'd love to put them on the back of you and make you all sort of proud of our community and proud of being a CFNer. I know I am. All right. Without further ado, I think I have done all the announcements. It is now time to bring on the one, the only Big Jim McLaughlin right after this.
When he was born, he tried to reel in the umbilical cord. Bass named him as their personal best. His power pole came with a stripper. Forward-facing sonar uses him to find fish. Chuck Norris is his co-angler. He is the most interesting fisherman in the world. Stay fishing, my friends.
In more ways than one.
I'm ready.
You are such a trooper, man. You are absolutely such a trooper.
Hey, look what I found.
I'm afraid to look. Oh,
it was in the cupboard. Tammy hid it. I found it.
Somebody's getting it. Always a pleasure to have you along, Jim. And I think it's important to note, under no circumstance will the show not go on with Big Jim, as we found out tonight. Still battling a little bit with food poisoning, and unfortunately had a little bit of a bout just before we went live. So on behalf of all of us here at CFN, Jim, thanks so much for your dedication.
Them those pigeons out the back, the doves there scattered pretty quick when I went out on the balcony when I saw what was coming.
Jeremy, to your question, yes. In fact, they're yeah.
I got it right here, buddy, with a fresh bag on it in case I have to.
Oh, we laugh, but it's been a struggle. Listen, as I said, speaking with you since it's happened, you've gone through a lot, my friend, and I tell you,
Scotty, I'm empty.
Yeah, I can only.
I get up. I got to steady myself before I walk. I'm so weak. It's just wild.
Oh, wow. Again, really happy to have you here. And the reason that I really wanted to talk to you tonight was, of course, what happened this past weekend. Again, it's not often that I get entrenched and enthralled in a tournament. But when two Canadians are that high in the standings and are doing that well, I almost think that it's part of our duty to represent and support and cheer on our fellow Canadians, especially when they're on the American stage. And you, Jim, you can attest to how big that stage is.
Yeah, they're not just even on an American stage; they're on the biggest one in the world.
There you go.
And that's the bottom line. You know what I mean? These kids finished first and fourth. Could have been a lot different. My daughter figured, or my granddaughter Emerald figured it out last night when she heard me talking to her mom. The boys won about, I think it was pretty close. If you take the conversion, it's about 160 grand Canadian. Like that's life-changing money.
It is. I'm glad you said that, because it is. It really is.
We'll make them even better. And it was so funny. I sent Chris a note last night, like, I don't know, maybe about 2 hours after it all went down. And I said to him, you have no idea how happy you've made an old man. And like 30 seconds later, he came back to me and chatted me up and said, like it was really cool. We had a really neat interaction.
Well, wow.
So I go back to the very beginning with them, man.
Well, this is the thing. And you've had a hand in molding their careers and mentoring these folks. And it's not just Chris and Cory that you've done this to. There's others that you've done it to as well. But as I said, yeah,
I spent a lot of time talking to Cooper.
I mean, there's countless, and some that you may not have a necessary relationship with, but again, you've mentored and just been a great example for so many people in this industry to follow. So,
I insert myself when I think it's necessary.
Yeah, well,
I've done that so many times. I mean, the number of times that Cooper and Gary or Danny have slept at my house. Mm-hmm. Things like that. It's I used to, when they used to be coming up and they'd be staying in motels and they couldn't even drive yet. Their mom would drop them off and I'd pick them up and drive them around if I was home, and things like that. And bring them over to the house for dinner and just stuff like that. And they used to ask me questions and how to look at maps, and I'd show them, and see now they are, they're still right at it, Hey, Jeremy, I saw your young lad in Manotick yesterday. I'm going to stop feeding him.
Oh, wow. Says a guy that can't keep food down right now.
Yeah, really. Come on over to my house for a week and get this. You'll be back to 5'10", 200.
One thing that I wanted to mention, and as I said, tonight's going to be a quick show because for obvious reasons, but something that I wanted to take a step back and I can't thank those that are affiliated with Bass and Bassmaster enough, but not just those who are affiliated with the sport, affiliated with the event. But there was a really, really cool interaction with Chris Johnston and a homeowner that I want to share, because this is really something. And for folks, if you've watched this, then you already know what I'm talking about. But this happened, I believe, during day 3. And if you understand the circumstances of this, then you'll understand why I want to take a moment here and just play this. So Cory catches, I think it's a 5-pounder from underneath this dock. And I'm hoping people can see this. Is it not? No, it's not shared. Okay, where is it? There you go. All right. So Cory's caught himself a 5-pounder underneath this dock. And once he gets this fish into the boat, and again, Jim, like you can talk about the quality of fishing on this chain of lakes. Like it is absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, because of the grasses back, eh?
And there, I'm sure there's a lot of nutrients. There's a longer growth window. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch, but as soon as he lands this fish, and as great as it is, as awesome as it is, something happens after this that is even more amazing than the catch itself.
Whew. Baby.
See, he reaches into the roof of the fish's mouth.
Yeah.
These fish, for some reason, these new baits, they're hooking in the roof of the mouth, not in the lips.
This is unbelievable. Catching 5-pounders, getting some breakfast. What's this place called?
It's Relaxed Retreats at Carolina King.
There you go. Relaxed retreat.
I'm gonna toss it.
All right,
Ready?
give her. You're the man. Look at that. Some breakfast sandwiches. Bacon, egg, and cheese, baby.
So again, the reason that I wanted to share this and the significance of it is, yes, it was a shameless plug, but that's not the point. The point is that this guy walked down there with food, and we see all the Karens and all the controversy that is caused by people fishing around other people's dock. Can I take a moment, to you Americans, not only did you make and promote us Canadian anglers on the big stage, as Jim put it, but to be that giving in a moment where you could have turned around and been the absolute biggest prick. I thank you so much.
Scotty, 95% of the people are like this. For some reason, it just doesn't happen. Everybody wants to talk about when somebody comes down and tells them to get the F off their dock and you can't fish here. This is private property. Well, you're in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that thing. The vast majority of the people are very nice to you.
I love it. And again, it just seemed like, even though there was quite a few Americans in the event and in the top 10 on Championship Sunday, we were featured, and we were just like all the rest of the anglers. Chris obviously was in first place, so of course there's going to be some extra time devoted to him. But
yep.
Even Cory, who was battling to get up into the top 3, and if not, surpass his brother, he was given ample time. One video, and I looked for it before I went live. If you guys get a chance to see it, if you didn't see it during the event, then you missed something really special. But they had drone footage of one of Brandon Polonek's fish. Did you see it, Jim?
No, I didn't.
Oh my Lord! You see him cast the bait. He jerks it back. The fish darts towards it. He casts again, and it comes out of nowhere. It's probably the best footage I have ever seen live in a bass fishing event. A bass tournament event, and a big salute to Bassmaster for getting that on tape. It was incredible footage. So not only did our Canadians do well, but they had some great camera angles, and they featured the location and as well the people in such a great way.
Yeah, and the thing that that I thought was really cool, the first time when I tuned in and I saw Chris fishing, I wondered what the heck he was doing, because I know what to do. You know what I mean? It's you watch them, you see them, and I couldn't figure out what he was doing. And then I thought to myself, he's fishing with an urchin bait, all the legs or whatever. That's what he's doing, because I had yeah.
So this is where, and again, this is why it was so important to have you on tonight. You've talked about this. You've talked about this craze, this creature bait, this fuzzy dice.
Fuzzy dice are gone now.
So fuzzy dice are gone. Whatever you want to call it, the prickly. I've heard them called prickly balls. All kinds of things. At the end of the day, the craze. Do you believe now, Jim, that this craze is only going to get bigger?
It hasn't even begun to.
There you go.
Hasn't even begun to get where it's going, because it hasn't. They're selling these things. They're down here in shops around Toronto and around here. Some of them are $15-18 a piece. They're perfect molded. The one that's coming from 6 cents is incredible, that Cory was fishing. The one that Chris was fishing, which I believe is the original Koiki is the name, the company name.
So that's it there. That is the Koike, and this is on Tackle Warehouse. So please, just understand that unfortunately this is probably American pricing. I don't believe that it would be Canadian pricing, but these are really quite something. And when I say quite something, they don't resemble anything in the forage base, in the food web. Like it seems like, Jim, and you might be able to tell me, these, when jerked, when cast, they just move a lot of water. And
Yeah,
they
and the
cause a
new
lot
one
of
that they've
vibration.
got coming from 6 Cents has little paddles on the ends of the arms,
Yeah.
and it really moves around, eh? It really moves around.
So with that being said, of course, I don't think that there's been any better promotion than the one that Chris presented, and I don't think he really planned on it, but he didn't have too darn many of these in his arsenal, and he had a bit of a spill.
You don't have to in this case.
So he's got it all tangled up with a pile.
Oh
dear.
my! Oh dear!
Yeah, and he
Wait a
goes
minute.
in right after it. So you understand right away.
At this point, you got to go on down there and get it.
I might as well get my rod now.
I love it.
You ever had a situation like this, Jim?
Oh my goodness!
There goes a shoe.
Hey, what's it? He's gonna get it.
Flip flop.
He's going down with tools.
So he eventually gets back in the boat, and of course he had to go that night to Walmart to pick up some $8 flip flops because he lost the shoes. Apparently he stank to high heaven because the water that he dove into was pretty stagnant. It's probably one step away from swamp water. We saw a few alligators. I mean, he didn't hesitate. And when you're that close to the top and on top, you don't stop at anything. So I need to know, what's the craziest thing you've done during the tournament?
I'll give you two. I had one with a guy from Quebec called Denny Romprey in the beginning of what is Bait Fuel Tour now, when it was Renegade Bass. And I threw a Texas rig lizard into a tree that I had seen a bass in earlier. I saw it swim into the tree in the bulrushes and stuff. And we fished for it a bit. I told him, I said, let's just go away and leave it. We'll come back. We'll catch it in the afternoon. And he looked at me, and I said, don't worry, we'll catch it in the afternoon. So I come back. We're standing at the front of the boat, right shoulder to shoulder. I pitch into the bush, shake it a couple of times. A big swirl, set the hook. The fish is there. And the hook went through the fish's lip and stuck into the wood on one of the branches just under the water. So I'm not trying to get him off the branch because I know as long as the hook points in the branch, he can't get off the hook.
Makes sense.
He's pinned to it, eh? So I've got the rod tripled over. You can hear the line singing. It was mono, Hear it singing. And he's reaching for it and he can't get it. So I stood back in the boat. I put my foot on his butt and just shoved him right into the tree. And he went in and he got the fish and came out. I still remember standing at the front of the boat. He looked at me and he said to me, I wish you weren't so big. He says, I owe you one. I said, I'll buy you dinner. He said, okay. Like that, And there was another one where I got a crankbait snagged in Lake Couchiching. And it was one that I had to have. It's the one that's in the box now and everything. And I'm looking down at it and I could see it. And I thought to myself, I got to get that. So I threw out the anchor so the boat couldn't get away from me because I was alone. And I didn't realize at the time quite how far down it was. I wasn't paying attention. And I dove in and I could see it coming up on me, but I couldn't get it. It was too far away. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do? So I sat at the front of the boat and I thought to myself, probably the best thing I could do is I'm going to jump in feet first and I'm going to push myself down as hard as I can. So I push myself down and I grab one of the branches on the tree. I can see the crankbait. I'm trying to move along the tree and I closed my eyes and I opened them again. I couldn't see, the water was bugging them. And I got the bait by the lip and I give it a few shakes and I let it go. I knew it would float to the top and it went up to the top, eh? And when I was pushing up to the top, I didn't realize how long I was down there for. I was out of air.
Oh my Lord.
And I did the stupidest thing in the world was I opened my mouth.
Oh.
So when I got to the surface, although I was breathing air, I was also drowning because I'd taken in a big gulp of water.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I got a hold of the electric motor at the front, and I just hung on. I cooped the water up and everything else, and then I won $85,000 with the lure later that week. So, you know, if I wouldn't have done that, but I fell out of the boat a couple of times. I fell out of the back once. What else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, there had to be other times, but I just don't remember.
Well, that seems epic enough. You know what? I don't want to stress you out trying to think about it might cause you some PTSD. So let's not go down that road. That seemed to be epic enough. Now, we talked about the quickies. I think what we should do now, because I think there's an underlying element to what went on this weekend that we're not going to talk about, but I think you guys all know. So I think what's really important is we obviously saw the quickie and how influential that was and how effective it was. Thanks, Gary. Dock spider. Yeah, I could see it being a dock spider. I don't know about that big, but it's possible. The dock spiders do get quite large, but it's the strangest thing. But anyway, let us talk about the lures. Let's talk about what they were using. Because there's some really intriguing stuff, and I want to thank the good folks over here at Bassmaster for putting this together. I don't know if they do this after every tournament, but thanks so much for doing this, because as bass season is fast approaching, there are some must-haves that I think some folks will want after seeing this event this weekend. And Jim, do you agree? Like, I mean, I understand that, fluff is big on this St. Lawrence drop shot. Everybody knows how important drop shot. But this shallow water fishing for bass goes hand in hand with most bass anglers. I think this is what you all look forward to is the shallow bite, correct?
Yeah, for largemouths, yeah. I spend a lot of time in deeper water because that's where the fish group in bunches.
Yeah.
And the shallow water fish are the ones that get pounded, eh?
Yeah.
Every weekend anglers out there, chucking a frog or a spinnerbait in 3 or 4 feet of water. And I really believe that over the summer that those fish get depleted. They get if it's tournaments, they get taken away. If whatever it is, it happens. They get eaten, whatever it is. But you see that, you look at a guy like Greg Hackney. He weighed 4 fish the last day.
Yeah.
Finished dead last. He finished 10th. Which is still commendable because how many Canadians have finished 10th in an elite tournament? It's that kind of thing. It's really a big deal. But I think that this year that quickie thing, and they still haven't decided how to rig it. That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
If you noticed, everybody talked on the weekend about the fish they lost.
Yeah.
And that to me just sort of says something that it's there's a lot of guys looking at it. They're rigging it on a quad treble and things like that. There's other guys they've made all kinds of rigs. I noticed they have what's his name? They used to fight in the UFC there, Clay Guida.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a fishing company, and he was on with Mercer. He had him on talking about it, and he says that they've spent a lot of time and they've developed a rig that is going to be out shortly.
I saw that. I saw that rig. Yes.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. But yeah, for the summer there's definitely, and here's so many things. There's like he's fishing with that frog. Look how long the skirt is.
Yeah.
I haven't fished with a frog with a skirt that long in years.
Yeah.
I don't do it. So who am I to tell Greg Hackney that his skirt should be shorter?
But you would think that they would be long, and I'm just going out on a limb, Jim, because based on the growth period down there, I would imagine their frogs get quite large. No,
I don't know.
I don't know. I would assume that they'd be somewhat bigger.
I've seen some pretty big frogs out the back.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's true.
I've seen some that are easily the size of my hand. You know what I mean?
Well, geez.
Not leopard frogs, but bullfrogs and that.
Yeah. No.
I don't think a big largemouth swims up and goes, "Oh, that's a bullfrog. I'm not going to eat it." He sees something moving and he's on it. You know what I mean? Geez, I've just caught fish out the back here in the evening, sitting in a chair, Scotty, and they blow a frog off the top, and it's in the roof of their mouth, like it's just in front of their throat.
Yeah.
And you say to yourself, "Wow!" Like they blew that out of a bunch of lily pads. I couldn't see it, and I was working it, but they just hit it and get it.
Incredible. They're incredible specimens, these fish, I tell you.
But it's a lot of the same stuff that comes out from different companies. But the koiki type thing is is going to be a deal.
Yep.
It's
100%.
definitely going to be a deal. It's going to, who figures out how to rig it right and stuff like that. You know, I made a post about this thing the other day, and a guy told me, oh, they already have it rigged perfect. And well, you heard Chris Johnston and a couple of other guys say that they didn't. That's why the fish, you know, it's one thing to hook them. They come and eat it right away. But how do you keep them on?
Exactly. One other thing I wanted to bounce off you and see if you agree, and I thought it was really something to hear it come from Chris, because he was having such success with that bait. As he says, it's new. You know, these fish haven't really seen a bait like this. But he said it'll be good for 3, 4, maybe 5 years, and then it'll go back to another style of bait or something that they don't see. I know you've said this to us in the past on various lives, but do you agree? Like, is this something that it will come and eventually go?
Look at all the rods and reels that you've slid by here in the last few minutes. What do they all have on them?
Jigs, yeah. Jigs,
Texas rigs, chapter baits, which have been around for a decade now, more.
Yep.
Things like that. It's, a spinner bait.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like people, or like.
Well, we still haven't seen the end of the chatterbait, as you know.
No, not even close. I mean, like a spinnerbait, a plain old spinnerbait. You still see guys flogging fish with them.
Yep.
All of a sudden, somebody comes out of the blue, chucks a spinnerbait, and wins a tournament. So did all the fish just, forget about spinnerbaits that week?
Yeah.
And then they come along with, oh, geez, look at that, a plastic on a jig, and they've all got that. There's just certain things that the fish never get tired of. They just never get tired of.
No, I agree, and of course I'm looking at, like, this is what you use. Like, this is your arsenal right here. Again, I can't thank Bass for putting this together. I can't thank them enough for doing this, because as anglers that are looking to fill gaps in our tackle box, this is like friggin' awesome of you to do. And I think it really it speaks to the style of fishing that was done. And I know I sort of said this
and all that garbage and stuff,
a moment ago, but this is why they think that the Johnstons did as well as they did, is they're used to fishing these kind of conditions.
Rice Lake, that's nothing new to them. But you see, the thing that people are all focused on the lure, but nobody's talking about what he did, what he figured out.
Yes.
All the fish he caught were post-spawn, and they were hanging out on the end of deeper docks.
Yeah.
Did you notice that you didn't see him up the middle of the docks or up by the shore?
100%. He talked about going to the cypresses, I think, on day 3 at the end, if he said, if I didn't do anything. But at that point, he said, like, I mean, I don't even want to touch these fish under these docks, because if I've pulled the 5-pounder out, I'm hoping that another 5-pounder comes in, and I don't want to blow these spots up. So he shared a lot of strategy, especially on day 3, of what he was doing. It was awesome. That's why I say the footage was incredible for this event.
Yeah, no, he was. I think in his mind, it's probably the biggest day. It's the one that he would remember the most.
I would have to agree.
Remember the most.
Again, his entire weekend, and I mean, anybody that was in the top 10.
Do you see the smile on his face, Scotty?
Oh,
and he talked about his boys at the end. And
amen.
And then he made a comment, "I'm getting older now." I jabbed him about that. I sent him a little note, "Getting older now," and a few expletives. that's an answer to me yet. See that right there? That's something from that bait.
Yeah,
that's going to be a player this year.
Yeah, I would agree. And just because, as you said, with the scent,
fishing.
Yeah.
Some of the smaller sort of glide swim type bait things, deals in that. Yeah. And again, then like frogs are always cool. Frogs are always cool. So it's what it is. Bait fuel. I mean, this stuff is obvious. This stuff is real, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I had a visitor the other day. I had Jeff Dix, the guy from Limestone Lures. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
And he was out doing something over here at his in-laws cottage there, giving him a hand in that, and he dropped in on the way back. I saw him pull in there, and he came by and whatever, and he was talking to me, and he took the time. He pulled out of his pocket, he pulled out a new frog that he's been working on. He was telling me how he's made 6 prototypes, I think it was. I don't know if he's watching, he could correct me if I'm lying, but he's
Well,
made
I,
six.
I will, yeah, and I want to show that frog because
Yeah, we'll wait till you're done with these. Yeah, look
yeah.
at them. See the way it's got all the funny little
all the
legs on
tentacles.
it?
I see. Yeah,
Yeah, some of them are flat. They got the little titty on the end of them there that wiggles. And does it catch a fish? Well, if it catches a fisherman and you're confident to use it, then you're probably going to catch a fish with it.
absolutely.
Like I told you last year when I went out here, the first time I tied on one of those fuzzy dice, I made one cast. I saw the line go tight and it kept going and it got cut off. It was a fight, but it just shows that they eat them,
Yeah, 100%. There's a smaller version of the creature
See
bait.
it on
Interesting
That's a
hook.
treble.
Yeah, that's a treble.
Yeah. It looks like he's got something in the bait to hook onto.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of stopper right about there. You're right.
Yeah, something there. Yeah.
There's.
But
Brandon.
I felt bad for Brandon Palina.
What a gem of a guy, eh? Like, that's one thing that I have to say. As much as I wanted to have a Johnston win, I want this guy to do well. He is just such a solid dude.
Yeah, look at the 3 rods.
Yeah.
Even for him.
Yeah.
He just stumbled on the last day. That's all. He was out of fish. I'm sure the area he was in just didn't have fish. See, there's that same little craw that he used from X Zone.
Yeah.
He's got the little stopper on the tungsten weight there.
Oh man. And
See the treble hook once again?
Yep.
So is that a quarter?
Same style. Same style.
Quarter treble, yeah. But
And then of course,
everyone was chucking those things.
last but not least, of course, the one. Our
Look
winner.
at the smile.
Oh, buddy, exactly. He was overjoyed, man. This was a big deal, and it was a grind for him. He had to work to get it. I see he's got nails in here, I guess, for weight to increase.
Yeah, it's probably like
the
a 6. It's probably like a very light weight. I would suspect it would be like, I don't know, maybe like 3/16 at the most. No, it wouldn't be that heavy.
Well,
I think it'd be that heavy.
I want to say a big shout out again to Bassmaster for putting that together, because at the end of the day, with Bass Opener just about on us, people are going to want to stock up on some stuff that is new and works. And you saw it on full display this past weekend.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true about that. But it was really funny when Jeff came in, we were talking about what hook to rig it on. And like I said, he's made like 6 molds of these. And he told me that when you have to listen to this thing when you retrieve it. It's the sound when you hear it, it's really cool. And I know a lot of surface baits over the years, when they brought out new ones, they've had different evenings where they've recorded the sounds and they're different. They get a quiet time, and it's really different. But the first thing that I did, you're going to hear me talk a lot about BKK. First thing I did was I pulled out the box, opened it up, and we went through size by size till we got the one that fit perfect in the bait.
That's awesome.
The one that fit perfect in the bait. And
that's a sexy looking frog.
You want to believe it.
Yep. That's a
that
sexy
frog staying with me tonight.
Well, again, Jim, as I said, I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're fighting it. You're a trooper, and we want to thank you for taking the time, even though you don't necessarily have it given the condition. But a huge shout out to both Cory and Chris for putting on quite a show this past weekend, and congratulations to Chris. As I said, you've made.
I remember when they used to run around and you'd chase them and turn around, they'd do something or say something, you'd try to kick them in the butt. They ran away from you, they were just little buggers, eh? But there's several things I'm looking at. I've got collected a few here. I have to get some koi keys. I'll make a few calls there. I've got a few other irons in the fire on things here that are, like I was explaining to you, I got a call today from a company in the States that, out of the blue, the top guy at the company calls me on a holiday Monday. So we're going to talk about that. And I actually had 2 calls from people today. I'm still waiting to hear on the other one. Hopefully, if it doesn't, we'll just keep going. It's what it is. It's late in the year and it's what it is, but we'll keep going, buddy.
Awesome stuff. Okay, because Jason isn't here, we are going to still play What's the Angle with Jason Barnucz. So I don't want to see anybody falling off. There is an underlying theme to this past weekend's event. and Greg Hackney spoke about it with Dave Mercer in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
This is your skill testing question. When you listen to this, what is Greg talking about?
What is what?
Greg Hackney talking about.
Top 10, dude. Like, I mean, it's a cool group.
It really is. I've not had a top 10 in a while, but I've actually had several top 10s with this particular group. So it's good to get the band back together. You know what I mean?
That seems to be a pattern this season. We're seeing on-off is definitely changing our top 10s.
Yeah, it's drastically changing it. Like, drastically. And I'll be honest with you, I looked down the list this week to see how many of them last week that were not here this week, or not even in the top 50 this week. So, I mean, there's something to that. Whatever it is what it is. But, so I noticed that too. I mean, but we got the 2 Canadians in this group, and it doesn't seem to matter with them. Like, they're just always in the top 10.
So true. You're not supposed to give the answer, Jim.
What he was talking about, I'll guarantee you.
Yeah.
Well, look at Cory went from being 80 points behind or 60 points behind to being 20 points in the lead.
100%.
Because
100%.
somebody didn't catch fish.
True enough.
And I had nothing. You know me. I am neutral on that. It's natural progression. We've seen it go from the time we used to shore fish to having boats with motors, to having boats with paddles, to having boats with electric motors, to having depth finders, to having braided line and good reels and, titanium this and whatever that and tungsten this, and everything just keeps getting better. And now they've found a way to make electronics better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool, I will say. And I really love that little snippet. It was
Greg's a pretty cool guy. I got to spend a little bit of time with him once.
He's
a pretty cool dude. Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's from Louisiana. And he's the good old boy of good old boys.
Well, again, thanks so much for Bassmaster for putting on a great event this past weekend and showcasing our Canadian anglers the way you did. Mercer, you always hit it out of the park every time. Especially, I love your Mercer in the mornings. But again, when it comes to emceeing, there is no other MC in the fishing industry. It's Mercer and everybody else. And of course, when it comes to mentors, that's the man right there. And we want to thank you again, Jim, for all you bring to our community and the fact that you're able to take some time, even though you're not feeling 100%, to spend it with us.
I feel a little bit better now than I did at 5 to 7.
That's awesome.
When I pulled that garbage can here, I thought you might get to hear a splash. I wasn't sure.
Wow. Well, on that note, let's hope the Montreal Canadiens make a splash. It's Game 7. I know everybody wants to get to go watch that, so we'll leave you with Dave Mercer sending us off. Jim, have yourself a great week. All the best, pal.
Be safe, people.
Well, as much as I hate to admit it, I guess we've run out of time. So I've enjoyed it, but I'm going to do something I haven't done since season 1. Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end.